Hello, welcome to A Perfect Pair. This is Jason. We have Roger here in the kitchen as well. We do the wine and the food, if you don't already know. Tonight we're looking at a monkfish on risotto. Now the monkfish has been baked with some garlic and some tomato and some... anything else, Roger? Garlic, tomato, olive oil, onions.
Bread.
And it's on a risotto that actually has some yellow peppers, or yellow capsicum as we call it in Australia. And typically you might think white wine as soon as someone says fish, but it's not necessarily the case. Malbec is a deliciously old French grape, and one of the growers and winemakers right here in Washington State makes an exceptionally good Malbec. This is the 2005 Malbec from Maurice Cellars here in Walla Walla. I think they've sourced the grapes from Oregon. And it's a really mellow wine, but it has some really tasty side tongue flavors, which I think will complement both the red tomato and the garlic that's on top of the monkfish, as well as the cheese that's inside of the risotto. If the cheese wasn't there, if the garlic wasn't there, if the onion wasn't there, and perhaps some of the deeper tastes of the tomato weren't there, I would have gone more for a white wine, probably a Sauvignon Blanc or a Pinot Grigio again, actually. But I think this red wine will work. But the proof is in the pudding. Roger's plating up right now. We'll see you soon to test how these two go together.
What are we going to do here? We are making the crust, the topping for the fish. Since it's Bordelaise, this fish is going to have tomatoes, onions, garlic, and some Italian herbs in it. And that part's going to come up top of the fish into the oven, and then we just bake it a couple of minutes, and that's going to be a very nice, very juicy crust that's going to help the fish and gives it a great flavor. Fish here, fresh from the market, picked it up about an hour ago. It's really beautiful fish. One thing you need to know about the monkfish is you have to prep it. There's a little skin on it, so cut the skin off, prep it. All I do is lemon juice, Worcester sauce, pepper and salt. Right now they're in Worcester sauce and they're just waiting there to be battered with a little flour, and then put into the skillet with some butter or olive oil, and then we just saute them for a couple of minutes before they go into this little pan into the oven. And then we put the tomato sauce on top of it, and then bake it for another couple of minutes so they can be very juicy with the acid from the tomato. It's going to be a very, very good taste. Okay, our dish tonight, monkfish. You've seen part of it. Now this has been sitting in this nice little, almost like a marinade for good about an hour. It's not really like the longer the better, but it's good to have it in there. So what I'm doing now is just to put some flour out here on a plate. Take the fish, turn it around, spatter it a little bit with the flour nicely. Just gives it a beautiful crust when you grill it or saute it. Take the next piece. I just love monkfish. Such a great fish. Doesn't have any bones in it, nothing. It's a really ugly fish if you ever seen one. It's a deep water fish. Take the next piece. It almost has a consistency as veal, so it's really good. Even people who don't like fish actually usually like monkfish. So got the next piece. A little bit more flour here. And here we go. Perfect. So all we do now, put a little salt and pepper on it to taste. And then the next thing is we put it in our skillet and saute it till they're nice and brown. We'll take medium heat. Don't go crazy with the heat. Again, it's fish. Doesn't like heat too much. And if it's too hot, the oil starts burning and you get a very ugly, almost bitter taste, and we don't want that. So, get this ready. Make sure the whole skillet is covered with oil. Let it heat it up for a while. Take them over and put it in the skillet. Nice It's gonna be so lovely. Oh. All right. So we took the fish out of the skillet, so it's nicely cooked outside. And now we take our batter we've made and put it on top of the fish. That's gonna go in there in the oven, and then we're gonna bake it through. It's giving a nice taste. You can see it's almost like an outside filling. It's so good. That's gonna give it a beautiful taste to the fish. So lovely. So you cover it up like that. Make sure the whole fish is covered. And then we're gonna put everything into the oven and bake it at about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or for our European friends, at about 180 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes.
This was good. We have monkfish.
Monkfish.
And we have risotto.
Risotto.
And we have a red wine. Red wine, you might ask, with monkfish. Yes, it's true. It is possible to pair. In fact, you can drink anything with anything you like. Many people do often mispair wines and food. Is there truly a wrong pairing? Probably not. So. It really depends on your tastes. However, we've decided to go with a red wine for this dish. It's a Malbec. The grape variety is Malbec. It's from the year 2005, created right here in Washington State by Maurice Cellars. And we have the most delicious looking monkfish and risotto dish right here.
Well, let's
if I can get that up next to the wine, maybe you can see that.
Let's see how the fish is going.
Why don't you give that fish a try?
I'll definitely do a fish.
So you've added some cheese to the risotto. You've added some yellow pepper, yellow capsicum to the risotto.
I'll try this.
And the monkfish has been baked with a topping of tomato, garlic,
really good.
onion, olive oil. For about 20 minutes, you can find some of the more intricate recipes and techniques that Roger used in the kitchen on a Perfect Pair.tv.
What do you think?
Wow, it's really
good.
The fish is quite fishy.
Well, but not overpowering.
When people say it's a fishy taste, it certainly has that fishy taste. But the garlic and the onion and the tomato really help balance that out. And then the cheese inside of the risotto.
Sip the wine.
I'll sip the wine. What do you think of the wine?
Oh, it's beautiful. You know, it's you feel the wood. There's a woodiness to it. I think the beauty of this wine is you served it with a little cold, so it's not too heavy. It still keeps it a nice taste because it's not overpowering the food. Yeah. It's a very good pairing.
That's a good point that Rog brings up. I don't think we've talked about on a Perfect Pair before. Red wine doesn't have to be served at room temperature all the time. In fact, the best temperature sometimes, especially for Pinot Noir, or for some of the bigger varietals, is to serve it a little chilled. Just a few degrees off room temperature. And I've had this in a little wine fridge downstairs, and it is really good with this.
It's a good combination. Thank you so much for bringing that wine up.
Thanks for adding cheese to your risotto, because it's extremely good. Shall we have a little...
Cheers.
A little more wine? Perfect pair, Rog. Well done. Beautiful. I think the girls need any of this, by the way.
They don't like it.
Just us.
Oh, this is good.
Oh, God.
It's lovely.
A Perfect Pair.tv. Check it out. Recipes, videos, more.
Oh, and join our group on Facebook.
Oh?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
I'm just going to keep eating.
This is freaking good.
It's really good.
Hey! Perfect Pair dog.